This is the May 23 through 26 trip to Minot for my sister's book signing at Main Street Books. Just the usual scenery going by from the front. That must be Eccleston Lake.
Puddle. Hey, with steaks on the shore.
Steaks?
Steaks.
Living steaks at that.
27.3, not bad.
And you got two semis kind of cutting down on the drag.
Yeah, except the one on the other lane keeps throwing rocks at me. I don't like that. Hi, steaks. How you doing?
Well, you know, they're both going the same speed.
They give me better gas mileage. I'm happy.
And you got a car coming up on you.
That's another Ford. There's a Ford to my left.
Yeah, but it can't get any farther because you got a semis in the way.
Yep.
Certainly don't want to cast immobilize on them, because otherwise you end up with a big crash. Slow doesn't help either.
The one on the left is actually moving ahead slightly.
Very slightly.
Unlike this Ford here.
Attaboy! That's an interesting license plate.
Nothing beats my jinx.
And it's tailing. It's got 1 second.
Oh, I didn't get a busted windshield. Crazy freaking driver in that one. And as usual, that other Ford that was behind me is a Minnesota driver. They drive like freaking nuts.
Speaking of which, here's a classic example. Talk about tailgating, and tailgating like crazy. Oh my, look how close this is.
I've got 11 wonders on the road. They're all a bunch of dingbats.
Sheesh, this is ridiculously unsafe.
Basically, that maroon truck should be about where the Minnesota truck is.
Yeah, no kidding. But, okay, so I guess must have some dumb drivers on the road.
There's a shock.
Continental Divide, elevation 1490.
And since the rock throwing semi moved out of the way, these two Fords will speed away.
Don't you just love these kinds of traffic situations? Where you see bad drivers all over?
Actually, they scare the crap out of me. 27.5 miles per gallon.
It's creeping. It's getting up there.
Nothing next to that 34.7 we had the other day.
Yeah, just letting on the gas kind of really does an effect.
And here comes more speeders.
Alright, I think today is a day of speeders. Oh man! This guy is...
And here's another one. And zoom.
Sheesh! You need some tickets. Where's a cop at? That's reckless driving.
No, reckless driving is those freaking trucks.
Yeah, but that's reckless driving from sheer speed.
Yeah.
That's going over 90. Easily over 90. Probably even 95.
Oh, look, another lake. 27.6 miles per gallon.
And this lake is Island Lake.
It's the one with that partial island in the middle of it. Yep.
The Jamestown Rest Area on May 23rd of 2013. Pretty much about the same, except the grass is a lot greener. This is the Bismarck rest area on the 23rd of May for 2013. Quite a windy day again, as you can probably get a hint of. This rest area is quite scenic in a way. We're missing a monster, the living fuzz. Once in Bismarck, I stopped at Dairy Queen to get some ice cream. I like their large ice cream cone.
That's what we stopped here for.
It doesn't look frozen anymore.
I hope not. Get her.
I do.
Oh.
The one thing I miss in Fargo is Nite Train Pizza, the giant 20-inch jumbo. If only there was something that I could find in Fargo that was any bigger, I'd get it. But 18-inch is the biggest I've seen in Fargo. The insides of the TV station.
He passes his boards and they haven't called him to do it. Hey, we're back with the rest of our noon show, but we want to remind you that tomorrow is an important day. It's Poppy Day in Minot. The veterans, the proceeds go to the veterans, and they're available at several spots around Minot, so you should wear your poppy tomorrow on Saturday, and that's all part of Memorial Day weekend. The service coming up in Minot, 10:30 at Rose Hill on Monday. And now we will welcome an author to our show, and I'm going to have her say her name for me.
It's Ulillillia Leolin.
Ulillillia. All right, we've got that. She has actually been here before. She used to live in Minot, but you don't live here anymore, do you?
No.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I moved to Fargo recently, but before that I was always in Minot. I was born here, raised here for the last 20-some years and stuff. Right now I'm living in Fargo doing psychic work, believe it or not, over the phone while still writing more books.
Yeah, you gotta have time to write your books. So tell me about that. How long have you written books? What do you have? The types of books? Tell me about yourself.
Well, the first book actually took me 10 years, actually almost 11 years to write, and it came out in 2 parts because it got to be so long. I don't know if you've ever held Frank Herbert's Dune. It's about yay thick. Mm-hmm. Combined together, book 1 and book 2 of the first saga, and it's longer than Dune, so I ended up splitting it into 2 books to make it a little bit easier to read.
Mm-hmm. In fact, we have the books on our table here. So tell me what they're about and a little bit of the story to get people interested.
The main character's name is Xylena, and she is actually she suffered amnesia and was taken in by the temple in order to try to figure out who she is. As it turns out, she's actually the heir to these dragons that her actual mother had created with an adventure beforehand. And bad events start to happen, and she's forced to journey the world over to discover where these dragons are hidden so that she can prevent the bad guy from taking over the world with his own dragons.
Now, tell me, who would like these books the most?
Actually,
what age group?
A whole lot of Harry Potter fans have loved it. Believe it or not, World of Warcraft fans like it. Dune, actually, it's been compared to Dune and the sort of Shannara, I think is how it's pronounced. So it's got good reviews and all kinds of fantasy things and new creatures. It's got its own language, its own history. It's very in-depth.
So where do people find these books?
Actually, they're available online right now. There might be a couple copies still left over from the Barnes & Noble book signing last week. But the Main Street Books definitely has some, because I'm doing a book signing there tomorrow. And also, Barnes & Noble online does have them, Amazon, and it's actually available all worldwide. Because I found it in Australian online bookstores, England, Japan, China, it's everywhere.
Isn't that exciting to have your book out there, you know?
March
Something you
5th.
created?
March 5th it came out, and I did an ISBN search on Google, and I found it all over the world. So that was the best day ever.
So at Main Street Books tomorrow, what time are you there tomorrow?
1 to 3.
1 to 3 tomorrow at Main Street Books.
Yep.
So is it hard getting yourself into this business of getting a book published and all that?
Actually, it is very difficult to you're basically trying to sell yourself to people who experience authors and writing from all over the world. So once you get your foot in the door, which is basically what I have now, it's very hard to keep in the door and push it open. And while you're doing that, you have to work on writing more books to keep more interest going.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got several books planned, and I'm going to be writing for the next 30-some years.
Oh, good for you. So you can come back on the Noon Show time and time again as you keep coming up with more books.
Oh, yeah. And believe me, I got quite a few stories.
Oh, that's always the trick, I would think, is being creative and coming up with more all the time.
That's no problem for me. It's just trying to find the words that, the details in here, can you match the words, and it's difficult.
Well, all right, you can go to dragondiaries.net and find out more, or come to Main Street Books tomorrow afternoon. Thank you so much for coming in. We wish you the best of luck with your endeavors, and we'll see you back here. We do have a Noon Show on Monday, so we'll see you then. Oh, good for you.
Wow.
Fast-paced world. He's always going to go.
Yeah, and you can grab your things and go, I guess.
I'm out for a run. It's my time. It's the best way to
That
start
was
a day.
fun.
It is. Try to do lots of different topics and things on the Noon Show.
Like I did on the 10th of May, this is also the case on the 24th, going to Royal Fork. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. And you know how I can eat a whole bunch in one go. This is actually the cheapest kind of restaurant for me. Back when I was living in Minot, this was the secondary grocery store I went to, aside from Wal-mart, that is. This is the location of the main event for the May 25, 2013 case of book signing for my sister. Well, it seems like I indirectly was able to get some of my books in here, or at least to some extent. Basically, I just dropped 3 copies off. I'll probably get some sales, but it's at the moment uncertain. I'll know when I get a sale, according to the information I have. Either way, this is a very nice bookstore. I met up with my sister's friend at Denny's. It is very unusual to see diesel being cheaper than gasoline. Very unusual. And that just happens to be the case. At this particular place, just off the Broadway, well, that's usually where their gas is preferred because it's pretty cheap, and if you pay inside, you actually get a discount. And that turned out to be one really expensive fill. Being out of drinks, I had to make a quick stop to Walmart to go get some more. This is one of the other stops that I made along the way, Premeire Video. I actually found the movie called The Ulillillia, which is one of the inspirations behind the legend of the 10 Elemental Masters. Gas at M&H before we leave, and right just across the street is the school I've hated, and then some. Yeah, that's interesting. Boats. Looking for fish. Yuck. Neat.
There's even one out here in Audubon.
Yeah, except this is Sakakawea I'm pointing toward.
Lots of boats in Scotland.
Train track off the side. Small little islands out there.
That's because it's so low.
And yes, I'm on my way back to Fargo. June 8th is the Minot Public Library for yet another book signing. Lake sure changed, hasn't it, compared to the last time I was on the road. It's not iced up anymore. emergency stopping only. Ah, so he must be having car problems then. Or he's doing it illegally. Not sure which the case is,
I didn't see
however.
hazard lights on, so yeah.
This is the Washburn Rest Area, one of the absolute most scenic rest areas I've seen to date, and that record still holds. I've been here several times before. Here's a quick panorama on the scenery. Kind of a nice day to some extent. Just look at this lazy ball of fuzz. What a mess that is over there, wow. The Crystal Springs Rest Area, eastbound. This is another one of the rest area stops I made. Sky kind of visible. Then you got this waving underneath. Kind of almost resembles underbellies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And underbellies is a sign of severe storms.
There's a funnel one over there.
Funnel?
Not really a funnel, but it looks like a funnel. Correct weather conditions for it to be a funnel. At least I hope not.
Well, I got a nice close-up of it.